Racing action continues in the second meeting of the season for the Mazda MX-5 Cup Benelux. 4 different venues across 6 different rounds in an expanded calendar for this 8th edition of the Benelux Championship. A season that takes us to Zandvoort, Zolder, Assen, Nürburgring on the GT World Challenge support bill. Back to Zandvoort and Assen again. But today we are in Belgium, across the border. We are in the Limburg region, just outside the city of Hasselt, at this fantastic 4-kilometer or 2.5-mile Zolder circuit, where we've already seen one 25-minute race in action. 2 more to come today to round out the second meeting of the season for the MX-5 Cup Championship.
En zeer goedemorgen vanuit de hete pitstraat van circuit Zolder. De zondag doet zijn naam eer aan, want de zon is weer volop aan de afspraak, zoals ze hier in Vlaanderen zeggen. Het derde weekend van het seizoen in de V-Max competities, zoals daar zijn de Supercar Challenge en de Mazda MX-5 Cup. Voor de Mazda's gaan we kijken naar de tweede race van dit weekend. 25 minuten actie. De auto's zijn direct vanuit de pitstraat naar de startopstelling gereden. We gaan geen uitgebreide startprocedure doen. We gaan direct naar de race en dat is daarmee het zijn over te geven aan collega's Kees en Dennis.
So already cars on the grid ready to take the start of this second race of the weekend. The grid for this one set by the second fastest times in qualifying, and that means it is your reigning champion Marcel Dekker who will line up on pole position for this one. Alongside him, Stijn Gera, who'll be starting on pole position later on today. Wouter Janssen, your race 1 winner, alongside Javier van der Schoot, your rookie winner. The lead rookie. We're already underway, and Marcel Dekker leads the field away for this 25-minute race. Side by side for second place, though, as Wouter Janssen gets to the inside of Stijn Gera, and yesterday's race winner makes the move for second place. Javier van der Schoot, your top rookie, there in 4th position in the white and blue machine. But Marcel Dekker, that green-nosed Dekker Racing MX-5, gets the whole shot into the Erster Links and leads them through the Sterrenbach box and the Canal box as well. But he is going to be closely hounded by yesterday's race winner. So top 2, same drivers, but in a different order as they were at the checkered flag in a slightly shortened race it was yesterday, owing to the tight nature of the schedule here. And it looks like Marcel Dekker is going to be under pressure once again. Wouter Janssen was leading at this point yesterday. I think he's into the back of Dekker coming into the Kleine chicane, side by side further behind, with Christian de Klein trying to usurp Javier van der Schoot into the chicane, but wasn't able to do so. That would have been for top rookie honours, as Chris Schuttert has gone around Javier van der Schoot for 4th position as well on this opening lap. So it's Dekker from Janssen, from Hera, from Schuttert. Schuttert, we haven't quite been able to see the best of the Ferry Monster Autosport driver. Only 11th for the 20-year-old Dutchman yesterday. Did score his first podium last time out in Zandvoort, and looking on much stronger form here today. Still Marcel Dekker who leads the way there in the blue-nosed car with the green decal on the front of it. That is Delano de Ketela, who finished 4th yesterday. De Ketela 2nd in the championship, now lagging 10 points behind Wouter Janssen after Janssen's 3rd victory of the season. Side by side for 3rd with Chris Schuttert, now going to the outside of Wouter Janssen, and actually there's been a swap for 2nd because Stijn Gera has gone through. There's 2 similarly liveried cars, but Janssen, instead of making the forward progress we anticipated, has actually dropped down to 3rd and very much at risk of falling down to 4th position. He manages to repel Schuttert for now, but Schuttert looking very racy in that number 26 machine, the white number 26 with the red decals on it. And Janssen losing 2nd place there has given Marcel Dekker just a bit of a reprieve, only about a car's length, but that's all he needs. Delano de Ketela making good progress there. He's up to 7th place now. But but still behind his nearest championship rival, Steinhera. We're back with the order for the top three that we had on the grid, effectively, with Decker and Hera and Janssen now your running order. Steinhera taking, I believe, his first pole position yesterday. He will be starting at the front for race 3. Rather oddly, we have our qualifying order grid at the very end and our reverse grid race at the very beginning. So Hero will be on pole later on. Oh, he makes a big mistake coming out of the Boulderberg hairpin, though. Gets onto the grass and gravel. That has really compromised his run, and we're going to go 3 abreast on the run towards the Jackie X chicane, and either side of him goes Wouter Janssen and Chris Schutert, and it's Schutert who comes out on top into second place. And here it's all come undone now, because through has gone Javier van der Schoot, through has gone Christian Decline as well, and I'm sure that Dicker Taylor is going to fancy a run at him as well. Yes, he does. So one little mistake there has really cost Steinhera. He's fallen down to 6th position. Javier van der Schoot didn't quite manage to get through in the end, actually. And that's also put Dicker Taylor up into 4th place now. So all changed just from that little mistake. And look how much of a gap Decker's been able to pull because of that. And the thing is, once you start breaking the toe, oh, that was a very slow-moving car. A very slow-moving car at the apex of the canal box. That's got to be one of the back markers. I imagine that will be Leon Isebert, who's just come out of the pits. Seemingly with some sort of mechanical problem and just getting himself back up to speed. It's only lap 3. We've got still 20 minutes left to run. So much has happened already, but this is the joy of MX-5 racing, whether it's here in the Benelux region or back in Blighty, or the most famous one on the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship bill. So Decker with a nice advantage though, but Schutert is closing him down and changed for 3rd position with Dicker Taylor rounding up Wouter Janssen. So Dicker Taylor, 2nd in the championship, passes the championship leader for 3rd position going into the Boulderberg Hartspellbocht. Now, the gap that Decker had was 1.4 seconds at the start of the lap. It's going to be an awful lot less than that now, and that's just pure pace from Schutert. A little bit of toe there, I'm sure. And yes, a full second he's been able to close down on the 4-time champion. That is astonishing pace. The gap now less than 0.4 of a second, and a 1:49.703, the fastest lap of the race set by Chris Schutert. That's worth a bonus point, so that'll be crucial by the end of the race. Dicker Taylor about 0.6 of a second behind, then Janssen, then Decline and Hera. And then there's a bit of a gap back to Javier van der Schoot and Noah Maton, who's trying to make progress. We did not see the pace from Noah Maton that we saw in Zandvoort, and he's going right round the outside of turn 4 on van der Schoot. That's a very bold move indeed, but it's absolutely nose to tail now for the lead of the race, and we've got 6 of them vying for it. Maton on the inside of the Kleiner chicane. Oh, skipping over the chicane goes Javier van der Schoot, and using that run to try and keep Noah Maton at bay, but he will not be able to keep that, I would have thought, if he manages to secure this place. Maton in the blue car with the pink trim on it, still side by side with Javier van der Schoot here, and has to settle in behind, but I would have thought that van der Schoot in the JW race service car is going to have to yield that one because he cut the chicane at turn 6. Side by side a little bit further ahead with the Steinhera car. Trying to make a move on the inside. Wide goes Luke Valk, who was your reverse grid pole sitter from yesterday. It's not grass and sort of dust out there on the exit curb of the Boulderberg hairpin. I think that's actually water resting on the curb. So a little bit of overnight rain perhaps making some of the curbing a little bit slipperier, which would also go some way to explaining the issues for Steinhera earlier. Dicker Taylor now through into 2nd place. He's got past Chris Schutert. Dicker Taylor now 0.7 of a second behind the race leader, so Decker's advantage grew a little bit on that lap while they were squabbling for that 2nd place. Here we can see Steinhera, the black car with the red trim on it, Christian Decline, the black car with the green trim on it, vying for 5th position as it stands. Christian Decline, your rookie winner from yesterday, after securing his first overall podium finish in the championship. Noah Maton still trying to get this move done on Javier van der Schoot. Moves being made further down as well with Nico Lanalati. Oh, going wide there is Lanalati, the Finnish driver. He had a 3-place grid penalty going into this race after contact with Serhii Volobuev on the start-finish straight yesterday. Maton finally getting the move for 7th place done. I wonder, can he try and close down the leaders? There's about a 2-second gap to that next train of cars. And that looks like moves being made for 3rd position as well, with Wouter Janssen trying to get around Chris Schutert for a spot on the podium. Wouter Janssen, who did the fastest lap of the race last time around, and yes, they are side-by-side coming out of the Boldberg hairpin. Look at Delano Dicker-Taylor as well, right on the tail of Decker now. But Janssen to the outside of the Jackie X chicane. Schutert tries to stand his ground there, but the advantage eventually swings Janssen's way. But Schutert will not take it lying down at all. And with the run he's got, he will have the inside line for the Erster Links as well. Meanwhile, here comes Delano Dicker-Taylor making the move for the lead on the inside of the Erster Links. Decker does not yield, and Dicker-Taylor has to bail out of that one. We've got 2 team bosses here. Marcel Decker of Decker Racing, Delano Dicker-Taylor, the DDK in DDK Motorsport, vying for the lead of the race here. They've pulled nearly 2 seconds over the rest of the field. If they don't squabble for a little bit, they could build an advantage over these cars. And it is the green trim, Christian Decline, I think, who's come out in 3rd position. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, Henk Valk Jr. not taking any further part in this race. That's a shame to see. He's had an awful lot of bad luck so far this season with mechanical woes. And look at Noah Maton arriving on the scene of this one as well. The gap half of what it was, but there's Decline. Then Wouter Janssen, Chris Schutert, and then Steinheirer, with Noah Maton for increasingly close company there. He's on them now. So Noah Maton, after a very, very difficult day yesterday, who was a rookie sensation at the previous meeting in Zandvoort, now is he going to join the battle for the last spot on the podium? And, Stein there again, getting onto the curb, going a little bit wider than he would have wanted. Seems less than ideal to go out there. We think there's water still lying on that curb. Into the Jackie X chicane, named after the 6-time Le Mans 24-hour winner. And they see a little bit of spray being kicked up there by Chris Schutert, or by Christian Decline, I should say, sorry. He leads that battle for 3rd position over the line, and Noah Maton already trying to make moves here to the outside of the Erster Links on Steinheirer. Not doing anything there, but he is putting the Ferry Monster Autosport driver, the 19-year-old, under big pressure here. Schutert is into the back of Wouter Janssen, practically, who's into the back of Christian Decline as well. Through the Lucien Bianchi corner, named after another Le Mans winner, a 3-time Le Mans winner with Ford and Ferrari. The leaders still holding a 2.5-second advantage now over this battle for 3rd position. Dicker-Taylor and Decker working very nicely together, while Decline and Janssen and Schutert and Hira and Maton squabble amongst themselves. Here comes Hira now, making a place on Chris Schutert, who has to go over the chicane, but he can't stay alongside and ends up taking a little bit of grass on the outside curbing of the Talarmenbocht, and that opens up the door for Noah Maton potentially. The blue and pink car at the back of this queue, the number 7 machine from TDB Racing. Schutert is still trying to hang this one out despite cutting the chicane. Seems like no one really got the message on track limits. Look how much time they've lost to Janssen and Decline just in those few corners of squabbling. And Javier van der Schoot is in this fight as well now in the white and blue machine. That's the car that Noah Maton was squabbling with earlier. And with that move, Maton has now moved himself up into 6th place and has the fastest lap of the race as well. So Schuttert being shuffled down a little bit. First of all being passed by Hira and then by Maton. And now with Van der Schoot for close company. Just under 12 minutes left on the clock. Oh, Schuttert really struggling. And he's got a problem. He's got a mechanical problem. His hand is up in the air because that looks far too easy for Javier van der Schoot. And a strong run for Chris Schuttert there is going to end in tears, I'm afraid. Doesn't seem to be getting all the luck this season. Side by side for 3rd now. Christian de Klein trying to repel the advances of Wouter Janssen as we see Chris Schuttert parked up at the side of the road on the inside of the Lucien Bianchi box. He has found a nice little gap in the barriers there. Now, will we need a full course yellow or a safety car intervention for the marshals to push that car behind the barrier? No indication as yet from race control. 10 minutes left on the clock. Marcel Dekker leads the way. Delano de Catela chasing him. They are now nearly 3 seconds clear of the battle for 3rd position, which is still being led by Christian de Klein, who picked up his first podium yesterday, the rookie class winner. He's also your top rookie in this battle now. Wouter Janssen, the championship leader, just behind him. Stein Hira starting to lose touch a little bit with the podium battle. Slightly further back, we have Mats van Rooyen, that is, fighting with Mats de Veit for 8th position, just behind Javier van der Schoot. Lana Larty as well, getting around Jim Bach. Well, actually trying to keep Dreke Janssen at bay, that is, actually, excuse me. For 13th position, Lana Larty we saw going through the gravel earlier. Contact with Serhii Volobuev yesterday for the sole Finn on the grid. Stein here is starting to close back in on that battle for the last spot on the podium. Visually closer last time around. So that's Van Rooyen and Mats de Veit continue to fight, and they've got Jack de Kock closing in on them as well. That blue VDH car. De Kock, who is another driver in his first season of car racing. Is this Luke Bauk rejoining the race? Or Henk Bauk, I should say. Who was that? Yeah, Henk Bauk Jr. Just rejoining that. So 3 seconds the advantage for Dekker and de Catela in their battle for the lead, working together very nicely, but it is game on for 3rd position here with Christian de Klein still holding the championship leader at bay, doing a very fine job, bearing in mind that de Klein, another driver in the very early transition from karting into cars, German karting champion, coached by Jaap van Lagen, a supercars champion and a Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux champion, who also coached Christian's father as well. In very safe hands here. Bagged his first top 5 finish in the opening meeting of Zandvoort. Bagged his first podium yesterday and now trying to go back to back. But he's got big pressure from the man who seems to be on fine form this season, Wouter Janssen, who's won 3 of the 4 races so far this season. And Stein Hira also seemingly on increasingly good form. Big hop, skip and a jump over the curbs. And wow, look how much ground Wouter Janssen lost there, because de Klein has suddenly romped away, pulled a couple of car lengths, and Hira had an excellent run on the run towards the Villeneuve chicane. Couldn't do anything with it though, but that's given de Klein just a little bit of breathing space. That won't last for very long though, I'm sure. because the tow is going to bring that Tachyon Motorsport car, the black and orange car, right back into play. See, look at that. A couple of corners later, and Janssen is straight into the rear bumper of Decline once again. The black and red car of Steinhera in close proximity as well. Noah Maton waiting patiently in the wings in that blue and pink car. 4 cars vying for the last spot on the podium. We're pretty certain that it'll be Decker and Dicker Taylor who are 1 and 2. In what order, we don't know. It does also depend if they make contact or not. Hopefully not. But they've been working very nicely together. 6 minutes left on the clock. 5-second time penalty, meanwhile, going out to Jim Barks, number 54 machine. That's for track limits. He is currently in 12th position, but we'll keep our eyes on this podium battle. Hugely enjoyable fight that we've been watching here. And several different teams involved as well there. You've got the TBD colours, the Tachyon Motorsports crew, the Ferry Monster Autosport crew, and the MV Motorsport crew at the head of this order, just to show you how incredibly competitive this championship is. In fact, it's 7 different teams. Made that 8 different teams, in fact, in the top 8 at the moment. So there's certainly no best, quote-unquote, team out there. 5 minutes left to run in this second race of the weekend for the Mazda MX-5 Cup Benelux Championship. We've got Decker and Dicker Taylor fighting at the head of the field, and some lap traffic that's going to come into play here as well. And we've got 4 cars fighting for the last spot on the podium. See the drivers trying to avoid that curbing on the exit of the Boldenberg hairpin. The MV Motorsports crew watching their man lead this battle, keeping the championship leader at bay. Nervous times inside the garages, of course, as we have now 11 laps completed by the race leader. Still just 0.3 of a second separating Decker and Dicker Taylor. But Decline leading those 4 cars around the Erster links. Erster literally meaning first. So first left, if you like. I wonder, when is Noah Maton going to pounce on this battle? He is in his home race, the young Belgian driver, your rookie championship leader, the former Fiesta Sprint Cup Benelux driver who made his MX-5 Cup debut at this track a year ago. So the back marker keeping well out of the way going into the Kleiner chicane. Trying to make sure he doesn't disturb the battle. Side by side, further back with Mats van Ruyen and Mats de Vij getting very close again. And skipping over the chicane goes Mats de Vij. Seems like that's maybe a fair cop, but we have seen time penalties being dished out for track limits infringements. And indeed, now the Nico Lanelati car has picked up a penalty as well. Actor Cock, that's that last car inside the top 10. Points down to 15th, though. Leaders over the line once again. And the checkered flag has been called. Well, there was 3 minutes left on the clock, but the checkered flag has come out early by the looks of it, and Marcel Decker takes victory. Marcel Decker, for the first time in 2026, after 2 second-place finishes, takes his maiden victory of the season, and followed home very closely by Delano Dicker Taylor, and Christian Decline makes it back-to-back. Not only rookie victories, but also podium finishes. Apologies, that very confusing, because everything was indicating we were going to have another 3 laps of that race, and I don't know whether because yesterday's race was shortened, that we've shortened this one as well, or if that was just simply a mistake there to bring the checkered flag out that early. But you can see it still says on the timing graphic, in fact, we thought we were going to have another 3 laps of that. Well, that's a shame, but well done to Marcel Dekker, his first victory of the season as the reigning champion. Delano Di Catela picking up his first podium of the weekend, his 4th in 2026. And Christian Decline, we can get confirmation of it now, 0.3 of a second separating Dekker and Di Catela in the end. And as you can see, 7 different teams inside the top 7 as well. As the last few cars still coming over the line, but Christian Decline making it back-to-back rookie and overall podium finishes. Rookie wins and overall podium finishes, I should say. Wouter Janssen settles for 4th ahead of Stijn Gier, Noah Maton, Javier van der Schoot, Jack de Kock, Mats van Ruyen and Luc Valk inside the top 10. The last points paying positions going to Nico Lanalati, Jim Buck, Mats de Vij, Jaden Grootjens and Drake Janssen. And unfortunately, we saw dramas for Leon Isabert, Chris Schutert, Henk Valk, and Serhii Volibev never ended up making it out onto the track. I don't think. So the top 3 making their way into Parc Ferme. And celebration for Marcel Dekker as he takes his first victory of the season, hoping to retain his crown. It's the 2 team bosses who lead the field. Already the celebrations with Delano Di Catela. Still hunting for that first win of the season is Di Catela. But he's made his intentions very clear that he will be fighting for this championship in his 4th season. Rene de Boer waiting patiently to go and speak to our race winner, who at the 5th time of asking takes victory for the first time.
Proficiat met je overwinning, wel verdiend beetje water. Het heb je wel verdiend na deze warme race.
Ja, ook nu. Het lijkt iets minder dan gisteren, maar het voelt niet minder, laten we het zo zeggen. Nee, het was een mooie race. Kon goed wegkomen. Ik zag dat ze achter me gingen rommelen. Ik kwam wel wat weg, maar je komt altijd weer terug, die achtervolger. Dus daar moest ik goed op letten. Ja, ik ben hem gaan controleren. Ik zag dat de ketelen achter me bleef rijden. Die wilde wel een keer aanvallen om hem ertussen te prikken. Maar ik zeg, nee, niet doen. En toen, ja, met deze warmte wordt het alleen maar lastiger als je erachter rijdt. Dus ik denk, nou ja, als ik elke keer een beetje in zijn vieze lucht ga rijden, dan lukt het wel. En op ervaring kon ik hem dus winnen.
Ik wou net zeggen, met al jouw routine, jij weet natuurlijk, laat je niet gek maken dan, hè?
Nee, dit zijn de mooie dagen. Dit is waar we het voor doen, waarvoor we hier zijn. Dus dit wil ik nog heel lang blijven doen.
Heel goed. Quick summary in English. Marcel Dekker said he was basically able to control the race all the way from lights to flag. He was quite under a bit of pressure from Delano Di Catela, who was right on his tail and kept him on his toes. But definitely, finally didn't make any attempt and didn't take any unnecessary risk. And Marcel said he could use all his experience, and he knows also that the driver in second place is always at a little bit of a disadvantage because of the dirty air. So eventually he was able to bring it home. In spite of the conditions, he said the temperatures are a little bit lower than yesterday, but it still feels just as warm as it was yesterday. So quite a hot race for him, but happy with his success and long may it continue, as he said. And let's talk to Delano Di Catela as well. We beginnen in het Nederlands. Delano, je gaf Marcel behoorlijk druk, hè, de hele race.
Ja, ik probeerde echt druk te leggen op Marcel, maar hij was toch net iets te snel. De motor werd ook net iets te warm door de warmte. De laatste ronde dacht ik kan nog proberen, maar Marcel heeft zoveel ervaring en die wist de auto toch voor mij te houden.
Je hebt natuurlijk al de hele race gekeken, hoe die waar remde, hoe die waar instuurde. Dus iedere keer wel, als er een kans geweest was, dan had je hem zeker gepakt.
Ja, ik wou ook geen risico's nemen natuurlijk, punten voor het kampioenschap. Ik zag ook dat de jongens achter ons wel redelijke afstand hadden, dus ik wou gewoon het podium zeker stellen. En, Ik had één plek dat ik dacht, daar kan ik Marcel wel pakken, maar dan had hij mooi verdedigd. Dus ja.
Goed, in ieder geval nog een mooi podium, dus geniet van een beetje verkoelend water. Delano said he didn't want to take any unnecessary risk. He feels he had a little bit of a chance maybe to finally mount a challenge to Marcel, but Marcel, with all his experience, kept it in control. And also the engine temperatures were going up a little bit because of the heat, as Delano pointed out. So at this stage he rather settled for the points, which could be crucial eventually in the hunt for the championship. And also with the drivers behind him a little bit further down, he didn't want to take any unnecessary risk and bring his second place and his points home safely. Last but not least, Christian de Klein, third place overall, best rookie. Christian, begin even in Nederlands. Vertel jouw race.
Ja, we moesten weer vanaf 6 komen vanwege de tweede snelste ronde kwalificatie. Start was niet heel goed, gewoon wel een positie kunnen houden. Op een gegeven moment vijfde. Toen close aan battelen met Chris en Wouter op het rechtstuk. Toen heb ik ze allebei voorbij kunnen steken op het rechtstuk. En ja, eigenlijk vanaf toen alleen met Wouter aan het vechten geweest. Een beetje elkaar geholpen, vechten. En uiteindelijk derde overal en eerste rookie weer, dus perfect.
Another podium finish for Christian de Klein. As he said, he had to come all the way from 6 on the grid because of the second fastest lap forming the positions, the starting grid positions. He had some nice battles with Wouter Jansen and also a couple of others, some nice fights, and was able to make up a couple of positions. And another podium finish, third place overall and top rookie for him. So thank you very much. Dankjewel, Christian de Klein. Daarmee over naar Rick voor de huldiging op het podium.
Race 2 got underway with Marcel Dekker leading the field away from pole position. Second fastest lap times setting the grid for this one. Wouter Jansen challenging Stijn Hera for second place and taking second place into the Links for the first time of asking. They battled down to the Kleiner chicane. Everybody keeping things rather neat and tidy in the opening stages of the race. With Javier van der Schoot in the white and blue machine getting stuck into the action. Chris Schuttert making his move for second place on Wouter Jansen. Delano Dicatela charged his way up the field. That move for third position there on Jansen. Noah Maton making good forward progress as well. Eventually did get stuck into the battle for the podium. Had to make this move first of all though on Van der Schoot, who did try and keep the young Belgian at bay. A little bit of contact for Lapalati. That took the Finnish driver into the gravel. Schuttert and Jansen continued to fight this time, but Jansen coming out on top in the battle for third place. Very, very briefly, though, because they fought down to the Links. This was Delano Dicatela's only real challenge for the lead. A brief overlap, but not enough to take the place. Stijn Hera got a little bit crossed up at times during the race, keeping Noah Maton at bay. Eventually made a move on Chris Schuttert for fifth position. Schuttert ended up cutting the chicane a little bit. And then problems for Schuttert that saw him retire from the race, sadly. Parking his car up at the side of the road. Battles all the way through the field, as you expect to see in these races, with Jim Bark and Lapalati fighting away. Mats de Vij and Mats van Ruin also enjoying their own battle as well. But it was Marcel Dekker who took his first victory of the season, closely followed by Delano Dicatela, with Christian de Klein making it back-to-back podium finishes and rookie victories as well. And so to the podium then. There's Christian de Klein after scoring his first victory, first podium of the season yesterday. They come like London buses, 2 in one weekend now for de Klein. Motorsport driver going from strength to strength. It's a fourth podium finish of the season for Delano Dicky Taylor. The third time he has had to follow the race leader home this season. But Marcel Dekker, for the first time this season, takes victory. And so the trophy presentation begins with the trophies and the bouquets on offer today. Hopefully no hay fever sufferers on the podium as they pose for the podium photo. And Marcel Dekker takes what I believe is his 17th victory in MX-5 competition. Certainly a remarkable feat. The most successful driver in the championship. As we move to the rookie podium now. And it is Noah Maton, second on the podium. But Christian de Klein back onto the podium once again to receive back-to-back rookie class honours. Noah Maton, who scored 3 in Zandvoort. It's 2 out of 2 so far for Christian de Klein. A reminder that MX-5 action is bookending today's coverage at Zolder. The MX-5 will be back out at 5:20 local time. We've got a lot of Supercar Challenge action to come in the meantime, though. Sprint qualifying and 2 sprint races to come there. But for now, we will turn our attention to the Supercar Challenge, and the Mazdas will be back out later on today.